Mark at Expo Jeep blog here. Haven't done one of these in a while. Gonna do some upgrades on one of my Jeeps and decided to pick up one of these brushless single onboard air compressors from ARB. These are brand new, and these compressors make almost as much air in a single as the old twin did. So in this case, I have limited space because I'm replacing an early ARB compressor on a different Jeep, and hopefully this one will fit in the same spot. You can see this is nicely packaged compared to the old days. Pretty cool. Talks about building a compressor and how the U.S. military used them. I was actually there when we came up with the idea of the original twin compressors, and that was at a Eaton Proving Grounds in Michigan, actually. They were originally, the old twins were originally developed to replace the Thomas compressors in Humvees for Special Operations Command. So that was kind of the original impetus for more volume of air. And as tires have gotten bigger, they are more and more important. So it's pretty cool, actually. The packaging is pretty nice. This thing is pretty stout. Just looking at the package and the box. Yeah, ARB Brushless. So anyway, I'm going to get this installed into the Jeep, and I'll show you that in a minute. Get there. Kind of wanted to just do a little bit of an unboxing, start to understand what's changed on this, because I have not looked on one of these before. Looks like similar components. Got a pressure switch in there. This particular Jeep's got air lockers front and rear, so I will need to put the manifold on there, the solenoids and all that, and that's this new quick release bracket and new harness. So get to this here shortly. The Jeep this is going in is my 1998 Jeep TJ. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen this Jeep before. This was an ARB SEMA Jeep and was actually my very first project at ARB in 1999. We built this for the 99 SEMA show. It ended up through one of the salesmen at ARB bought it from ARB after a couple of years. My dad bought it after that, and he kept it for over 20 years. Passed away a couple of years ago, and so it's come to me. I have been busy restoring it, so to speak, sort of to its 99 configuration. 2000, I should say. I went to SEMA in 2000 as well. Found the correct IPF 930 monster halogen lights for it. So compressor-wise, this has got an RDCKA in it. This would be second generation ARB compressor. These were slow. Granted, this Jeep had 31-inch tall tires on it in 1999 when we put it together, so it wasn't such a big deal. These days, it's riding on 315 75/16s on old school original AEV wheels from way back then. And so my plan here is, hopefully there's enough room, I think there will be, to yank this RDCKA out and drop the brushless single in its place. We did the previous test, single tire at about indicated 5 psi on the analog gauge, and now I've picked up a four-way system, just a cheap one off Amazon. With the single tire inflation, this little CK whatever it is brushless ARB compressor took 2.5 minutes to go from indicated 5 psi to 30 psi. In this case, the gauge that came with this Amazon setup, you'll see in a minute, it's actually reading 3 psi at the same, and looking at the tires, I'm guessing that's probably pretty close, because I don't know if you can see it in the video, but they are pretty damn flat. So, next step here, see this setup. I don't know if you can see the gauge, but reading 3.1. I'm going to open the valve, and then I'm going to go turn the compressor on. from inside. We'll time this out. I've got a stopwatch ready to go. Let's get this one open. Okay, and we will simultaneously, or at least attempt to simultaneously, start this and that. Okay, so 1 second difference. So I will be back as soon as I get these tires a bit closer to being full. In the last section of the video, I mentioned that I think it took 2.5 minutes to fill a single tire. It took 9.5 minutes to fill all 4, but I'm going to rerun the single tire test because, quite honestly, there was some confusion on my part when I did the timing on that, and I want to confirm it wasn't really 3 minutes. Plus, now I'm going to use the same gauge setup, so there'll be more consistency as far as that's concerned as well. So this is just hooked to a single tire back there, very flat, 10 cleaver. And I am going to start this and then just turn the gauge and we'll see. Okay. So, interesting to note here, and not surprising, reading 42.8 on the gauge. That's head pressure against a tire that's got 3 psi in it. So there's 30 pounds of pressure, 35 pounds of pressure or so in that line. That is because the Schrader valve is a bottleneck. The thing about these compressors is as the pressure goes up, the volume goes down. Therefore, when you use a 4-way system, you should see an improvement in performance based purely on the fact that the compressor doesn't have to fight against 35 psi of head pressure. This seems to be a thing with anything over about 2.5 CFM. Doesn't matter what compressor you're using, it's just a volume issue. So I'm going to kick this off, then I'll come back. Right now we're at a minute just shy of, and again, reading about 42.6 psi on the gauge, but I know for a fact that tire's probably got maybe 8 or 10 psi in it. So check back as soon as we're up to 30 pounds. Had a little trouble pushing buttons all at once, so we got a little bit behind. 3 minutes, 14 seconds, this ended up at 32.1 psi. That gels with what I recall, which is 2.5, 3 minutes per tire. So, conclusion is 9.5 minutes for all 4 with a 4-way, or roughly 3 minutes per tire, or 12 minutes for the whole set. Plus you got to move from tire to tire, although you still got to hook the 4-way up, so it's probably a wash there. Either way, performance-wise, looks like this thing is at least, what, 20% faster, something like that, when you hook it up to a 4-way. So definitely recommend it, and a hell of a performer. I'll take 9.5 minutes on 35-inch tall tires from 3 psi to 30 psi. That's really good performance from a single. So anyway, we'll see how this thing holds up, but so far I've got nothing but praise for this ARB brushless compressor. Highly recommended.